All right, guys, welcome back to another video. We have lots to talk about in terms of the Xbox rumors, plus a couple of other things. But if it's your first time here and you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button. If you've been watching for a while, which I see a lot of you have from my analytics, make sure to subscribe as well if you are a fan of the content. So let's jump in here and let's talk about the rumor I'm probably the most excited about, and that is for the Gears of War collection. Now, we've heard about this rumor now for a long time. I'd say over a year or so. People have been talking about a collection of Gears game coming in a singular package, very similar to what they did with the Master Chief collection, which in my opinion is the best compilation of all time. What they were able to do with that, obviously after the bad launch, but right now you go look at the Master Chief collection. It is phenomenal. So I was thinking if they can do something similar to that with Gears of War, it will be probably just as good. And we've heard rumors, we've heard nothing from Xbox, and it is now in the rumors again. And it seems like it is even closer to being true than ever before. This comes via Middle Aged Game Guy on the Xbox or the Infinite podcast. And he's talking about the Gears collection, saying that the Gears collection is being internally tested by the coalition. The build is finished and the game testers are currently playing it now. And then also the coalition new IP is still being worked on and Ninja Theory is still working on Project Mars. So there's actually a bunch of rumors in this clip here. But again, the main one is that the Gears collection is being internally tested by the coalition, which would mean the game is essentially getting ready to ship after it goes through all the testing, all the QA and everything. And then they will see if it's up to par. They'll probably make an announcement and then give us a release date for this game. So I wonder when we will end up seeing the Gears collection if this rumor does end up being true. Is this something that we get to see earlier in 2024? Or are we going to be waiting until the summer where they announce it, and then maybe it is a summer release? Or is it something that isn't even coming out in 2024? I'm hoping that we get something soon because I am just chomping at the bit now for some more Gears content. We've waited years now since Gears 5. We know the coalition is working on Gears 6 in Unreal Engine 5, which I think is going to be absolutely phenomenal based off of the work that they've done with their previous titles and graphically and just the details, especially if you look at something like Hive Busters, which was that small DLC they put out for Gears 5. And then you also look at what the coalition was able to do with that Matrix demo. Just insane stuff there. And I think if they can bring that, put it into Gear 6, it may be one of the best looking games we've ever seen. But a Gears collection to me, with all of the multiplayer maps, with all of the campaigns, maybe they add in some additional things in there that makes the longevity of that collection even better. I just hope they do it. I hope this isn't a rumor that falls flat. I hope this isn't something that Xbox decides to shelve. I hope this is something they actually do put out. I'll be on that thing day one. Now, the other stuff here, the coalition is also working on a new IP, which we don't know about, and then Project Mara, which we've seen previously, which isn't surprising. Hellblade 2 development is probably getting near the end as the game is coming to its release date. We may get a release date for this week at the Xbox Developer Direct, so they're probably still really focusing on that and then shifting hard into Project Mara once that happens. So lots of things to decipher here. And again, these are all rumors, so we don't know how much of them are true. But Middle Age Game Guy, he had a bunch of rumors on this Xbox Infinite podcast that I want to talk about. This one here, they're saying here that an old Xbox IP from over the last 10 years will be revived and it will be released across multiple platforms. And he is saying here across, I believe, PlayStation, the Nintendo Switch. This isn't just something that Xbox is going to be keeping within the ecosystem of Xbox console, PC, and on the cloud. Now, game that's released in the last 10 years, you have to go back and look. You go through the comments. Somebody actually did some deciphering of this. You have 1 verse 100. That's one people have been talking about. Well, I don't know if that was released in the last 10 years or not. This person here said, well, I did quick search and here found these interesting ones. Max, The Curse of Brotherhood, Sunset Overdrive, which that's the one to me I would absolutely love to be revived, but I don't think that's possible it coming out now from Xbox at least, because it is Insomniac who developed it, and we know Insomniac is a first-party PlayStation studio. And then we did see that thing from the Insomniac leaks, where first of all, it says that Microsoft has exclusive rights to publish 2 sequels of Sunset Overdrive, DLC ports, or anything related to Sunset Overdrive. But because of that, it would make sense why PlayStation and Insomniac haven't released a remastered version or any other version of this game. We also did see that within these recent leaks from Insomniac that the Sunset Overdrive, they were working potentially on a Sunset Overdrive 2, but then they went ahead and canceled it. It says the recent leaks suffered by Insomniac Games show that the studio was once planning to release a sequel to Sunset Overdrive, but the project was eventually canceled. So probably not the best likelihood that it would be Sunset Overdrive. Recore people have talked about, they've done a definitive edition of Recore, but I can see that as a game that they would potentially want to get more traction on, more sales. I don't think it did very well, and it isn't a bad game. It really just released to, I guess, not too much fanfare, so maybe they want to bring that back out and try to revitalize that IP so they can make more sequels and iterations of it. Quantum Break, not too sure. So you got to go back. You have to look at a game that has been created in the last 10 years. A lot of people are saying Banjo-Kazooie. We've heard the rumors that they are making that game. I mean, that's one that if that is the one that is going multi-platform, that would be kind of, I think, a crazy move from Xbox, because you have Banjo, you have Kazooie, you could make those into just huge mascots for the Xbox brand. But if you're going to throw that away and put that on to PlayStation and to the Nintendo Switch, and I understand they were huge on the Nintendo platform specifically, I just think that you could take that and attract a lot of people over who were fans of Banjo, as well as use the mascot as a big thing for the Xbox brand. But if they decide to make it Banjo and put that on other platforms, I mean, we will see how that does. All right, there are some other rumors here, specifically talking about Contraband. We've seen Contraband, I think it was 2 years ago now. We haven't seen anything from that. That is that co-op smuggling thief style of multiplayer game from what we understand. And now we have a bit more information here again from Middle-Aged Game Guy saying that he's seen it with his own eyes. It is set in the 70s and reminiscent of things like Dukes of Hazzard, Battlefield Hardline, which I remember that one. That was like the cops and robbers multiplayer Battlefield, Payday and Driver, but not Twisted Metal. He says gameplay includes epic car crashes, but not just driving. And it's currently between the alpha and beta stages of development, but release dates and years are not known as of yet. Someone he knows who has played the game for about 2 weeks had hyped this game up. It's awesome. So between the alpha and beta stage, we may not see this game until next year, or unless they really go fast through those stages. I'm not really sure how long they generally do take for a game like this, but we'll probably get some. This is an online multiplayer game, maybe some early access, maybe a beta that people can actually go in and play in the public. Maybe they have an open beta, all that type of stuff. So Contraband may be coming in the next little while. We may see more from this game. If he's already seen gameplay, when is everybody else? When is the public going to be able to see some gameplay for Contraband? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do want to see it. Now, when it comes to Project Tatanka, which is that, I believe it was a battle, rumored as a battle royale Halo for Halo Infinite. And I'm not a big battle royale fan, but I would absolutely check out a battle royale version for Halo Infinite. Apparently, it's been shelved. If that's true, so they say this is from, according to Colt Eastwood, Certain Affinity's Halo Infinite Battle Royale Tatanka has been shelved. If that is true, that is disappointing. I was actually looking forward to seeing that come in, but at least with Halo Infinite now, they've put it into a state where it is very, very good from a multiplayer perspective from the content, and they're still bringing out more content. So it won't be as huge of a hit, I don't think, as if this were to happen maybe a couple years ago. But I really hope that isn't true. I really do hope that at some point if it is shelved, they do pick it back up and work on it. Or if they did actually shelve it, they're working on something else to bring over to Halo Infinite. But according to Colt Eastwood, as you can see here, he did post a comment on the podcast saying that he was hearing that it was shelved. And next up, we have this rumor here that a lot of people are calling BS on, saying that it's not true. There is even, I believe, a developer from Bethesda who essentially has called this out as it not being true. But Meg here says that this one is nailed down in fact, apparently, and it is that Indiana Jones has not only been developed by Machine Games, but has also been co-developed by 343 Industries, id Software, and Tango Gameworks, which, if true, I don't personally believe it's true, to be completely honest, but if true, it would be very interesting because you're getting amazing developers all collaborating to create one game. You have 343, who made Halo Infinite, and I think Halo Infinite is the best feeling Halo to date. You have id Software, who with games like Doom, which is one of the best feeling first person shooters ever created, one of the best first person shooters ever created. Tango Gameworks with games like Hi-Fi Rush and Evil Within, all phenomenal games. And there has been that rumor about Indiana Jones, about it being first and third person. There's also that discussion as to, is this game going to be first or third person? If you take all of these studios working together, people from all of these different backgrounds, you have the third person expertise from Tango, and then you have all of the FPS expertise from not only Machine Games, but 343 and from id Software. But like I said, this one here, a lot of people are calling BS on it, so definitely take it with a grain of salt, as well as all of the other rumors that we are talking about. If you like first-person shooters, Battlefield 2042 has been one of those games that had a terrible launch, and I think it's gotten a lot better. I actually have not checked it out since the terrible launch. It's one of those ones I've always been meaning to get back into, but there's just been so many other games that have taken my attention. I may jump into it at some point in the future, but it looks like DICE, they're already kind of thinking about it, moving on to the next Battlefield game. And this time it is sounding, again, like it does before every Battlefield game. The last few times they've had a release, it just haven't been great. It was that game that was a true competitor to Call of Duty. I don't think it's really gotten to that point for a while now. But they're saying here that they're aiming for the most realistic destruction effects in the industry. And they say the studio formerly known as DICE LA is working on its own standalone game. It says here, this is according to a new job ad for a VFX director role spotted at Tech4 Gamers, which states that the EA-owned developer is looking for a senior 3D artist like you to help us create the most realistic and exciting destruction effects in the industry. Ripple Effect is currently one of the multiple studios working on the Battlefield franchise, which has seen its production significantly restructured following the disappointing launch of Battlefield 2042. So this is kind of exciting. If you're somebody like me who was a big fan of the Bad Company games, we remember when those games came out, and the destruction of the buildings, I think at that time was pretty revolutionary for a first-person shooter. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was, they're still my favorite Battlefield game. So if they're going to go back to something similar to that, it's something that I will definitely want to check out. I always get excited for Battlefield games. They've just been kind of disappointing to me at their launches, and I haven't gone back in. But I think I will at some point. I know I've said this before, jump back in and try some Battlefield 2042. And if you've been playing it since all the updates and everything, let me know what you think about the game. And then finally, as we know, Playground Games, very successful studio, especially in a time right now where essentially the entire industry is cutting back. We've seen layoffs all of the time. We even saw some more layoffs recently at the Embracer Group, and then across many different studios, we're seeing layoffs like things like Discord. It's just been a time of cutbacks and reductions in the gaming industry. But Playground Games is increasing, and we have here 18 new hires that have joined Playground Games across various different roles: character artists, tools engineer, cinematic lighting, environment artists, and it goes on and on and on. And it is because they have created great games. Like Forza Horizon 5 is phenomenal. That game has had millions and millions of players, surpassed like 30 million players. And they're also working on Fable, which we have seen a trailer. There was gameplay in that trailer. And I feel like they're ramping up here as we get closer to the release of Fable, a game I'm guessing we're going to be seeing this summer at the Xbox showcase, with probably a 2025 release time frame for it. And you can tell they're getting into the deep end here of producing these games and getting them ready for release, specifically with Fable. So exciting about that. 2024 is sounding insane. We'll see what happens this week at the Developer Direct, but there are still so many games that we don't know about that is going to be coming out after that. The amount of releases that Xbox has, especially now when you add an Activision Blizzard and you have a yearly release like Call of Duty that is going to be coming out, it is a very fun time to be on the Xbox ecosystem. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. We'll be right back.